Hello, villagers! It's that day. It is Special Thursday, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspired channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. All right, guys, so today's Special Thursday nugget is going to be around don't allow yourself to take people or situations for granted. I think over my life, and again, as you know, the Wendy Inspired channel is all about every single one of us learning and growing together. But I look back over my life and I never beat myself up for making mistakes. I do acknowledge mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and do better. But I do not believe that it's healthy to continue to beat yourself up over and over and over again for making a mistake. As I look over my life, I find some areas that going forward, I will definitely focus on improving. And one of the areas, or a few of the areas, are don't take people for granted and don't take situations in life for granted. I think back when I had a very, 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 very busy job. And my job required me to spend a lot of time working. And during the time that I was working really, really hard and I spent a lot of hours away from those who I love the most, my father was ill. And my father passed away when I was working a lot of hours. Now, I knew he was ill. I had a very supportive manager that allowed me to, take some time off or spend time with my father. But after he passed away 5 years ago, there's this little tiny piece in the back of my mind that pops up every so often. And this little tiny piece that pops up in the back of my mind says, if you weren't working so many hours, how much more time would you have spent with him? If you weren't so busy chasing and running after all this stuff, how much time would you have spent? What would you have done differently? And I think about that every so often, not all the time. I don't beat myself up because I was a very supportive and wonderful daughter. With that said, how much more time would I have spent with my father if I wasn't so busy working or so busy doing other things or so busy occupied with different things? And here it is 5 years later, and my father is resting in peace. And I can't get that time back. I can't go back in time. I can't, spend more time or say things that I wish I said or do things that I wish I had done. All I can do is learn from it and learn that there's nothing or no one more important than first God than my family. And if that were to happen right now, if I had an opportunity to relive these moments of my father being very ill, I wouldn't have spent all the time that I spent in the office. I wouldn't have spent so much time focusing on other people and other things outside of the people who truly love me. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a good job. There's nothing wrong with working really hard. There's nothing wrong with spending hours in your office or whatever you're focusing on. But never, ever, 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 ever allow that to take the place of your family. And I get it, because I used to tell myself, I'm working so hard so I can provide this life for my family. I'm doing this and I'm doing that so I can provide this for my family. But guess what? The only thing that your family wants more than anything else is you. So I think back to some people I know who would always compensate for their children because they worked a lot of hours too. And they bought all the Christmas presents, they bought all the toys, and they bought all the stuff and all the material. And now that the children are grown, guess what they say? They say, I remember when mom showed me how to read. I remember when dad showed me how to ride a bike. I remember when we played checkers as a family. Children don't typically remember when you spend thousands of dollars for Christmas or spend thousands of dollars for extravagant gifts. But what they do remember is they remember those special moments where you took that extra time to just support them or encourage them or love them or tuck them in or read them a story. And then also, I want us to just be mindful of taking situations and times for granted. We know that tomorrow's promised to nobody. And so often we just allow ourselves to be so distracted with so much stuff that the people and the things that mean the most sometimes get neglected. So that's our Special Thursday nugget. As I continue to learn and grow, I share it with you so you can continue to learn and grow, and we can continue to learn and grow. And if you have a story as far as something that you did to better manage your time, better manage spending time with your family, not taking people for granted, how do you balance? If you're able to balance like maybe a demanding job or a demanding career or whatever it is that we all go through in life, bills and responsibilities and extracurricular activities and all these different things, how do you balance between your family and those that you love with those things that you need? So I would love to hear your strategy. I would love to hear your story. In closing, I just want to encourage you to really focus on what matters. What matters, and what matters. And what matters most is you being happy, you being healthy. You don't have to have the biggest house. You don't have to have the biggest position. You don't have to have the fanciest car. But if you have love, if you have health, if you have the grace of God on your life, everything else will come unto you. So thank you so much for tuning in to our special Thursday segment. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. And I will see you next time this weekend on the Wendy Inspire channel. Make it a great day, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. Be blessed. Bye.